The IT KASM is a Perl-based web tool. The base install process covered in this video will install all necessary Linux packages, IT KASM files, and compiles from source when needed. It's the slowest of the two installation methods, but it is the most thorough. If you're not blocked by firewalls, can install from Linux repos, and you're able to install CPAN modules off the internet, then this should be the preferred installation method for you. So let's get started. I have a standard browser, and I'm going to hit the address that IT KASM should be located at. We'll say that it reaches a bad gateway because Apache is not installed. And just to show you, you can use any web browser, in fact. But I do not have a browser installed at the moment. I don't have Perl installed. And if I try to look at where KASM is going to live, it's not installed either. I'm going to attempt to install IT KASM on this CentOS Linux server. It's a raw base install. This installation process will also work on a Debian as well. So let's go ahead and proceed with the installation. I've downloaded the IT KASM software package. I'm going to extract the tarball that's compressed. It's going to create a directory. I'll go into the directory. And there's three important files here. The first file is the install script. Then there's an install manifest and an install readme. Definitely take a look at the install readme because it does show you how to not only install KASM, but it also has the login information. So once you have installed KASM, you'll be able to log into it. The next is the install manifest file. And this file basically tells the install script what needs to be installed and how. So the first set of files are packages. So it's going to either use a yum install or an apt-get install to get those files installed into your system, and then CPAN modules get installed, some directories get created, and then the rest are just files that KASM needs to work properly and function like it should. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the installation. Since we're doing a base install, all we have to do is type /install space and base. Once we do that, it's going to recognize that we are on a Red Hat type server, and it also sees that we have SE Linux policies being enforced. Now, in order for the IT KASM to function, the web server needs to be able to execute some CGI scripts. This will only happen if you have it set into permissive or disabled mode. So we're going to take the default and go permissive. It's going to make those setting changes. And then it's going to let us know that it's going to install it into opt IT KASM, and you're going to need about 22 megs of space. It's going to ask if we want to continue. We'll say yes. And then it goes through and it starts installing the packages. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to stop the video here because this is going to take about 10 minutes. And then I'll come back once it's done. The installation process of the packages has finished, and now it's going to try and install the CPAN modules. What's important here is we can answer and say yes to try and do it as automatically as possible. But the next question that you're asked with is, do you want to use local ::lib, sudo, or manual? If you select the default local ::lib, what it's going to do is all the Perl modules are going to be installed into the home directory of the person that's executing it. So in this case, the account I'm using is root. All the Perl 5 modules are going to be installed into root's home directory. We do not want this because KASM won't be able to find the Perl modules. So in this case, we want to say manual, and this will install it into the system Perl library area, which is, I believe it's user share lib Perl 5. So we pick manual. And we say, yes, we're going to connect to the internet to get the CPAN modules and find the CPAN mirrors. And then it'll go through and it'll start installing these mirrors. Again, in the interest of time, I'll be back once this is finished. Okay, now the CPAN modules have all been installed. It's going to be copying all the IT KASM files into place. And it added a symlink so it knows where the images are. And then so we know who installed this 5 years from now when your company comes back and takes a look at this or does some updates. They'll know who the person is responsible. You can just put your name in, and then it's going to finish up on some final installation routines. And then it asks you, do you want to install Apache? Now you don't have to. You can use whichever web server you want. So Apache can be installed, and the install script can automatically configure Apache for IT KASM to function. So in this case, for this video, I'll select yes. It'll quickly install Apache and take care of everything. And then it'll actually put in the httpd.conf entries. It'll restart Apache and put in the necessary links so that we can find IT KASM on the web server. So let's do a couple checks before we take a look at the page. We'll see if /opt IT KASM was installed. It was. The files are all there. Perl is there. That's good. And see if our web server is running. It is. Let's go into opt IT KASM and let's go to the executable. We're going to do a quick check. The primary script that drives, or CGI script that drives all the IT KASM, is called IT KASM, and it is in opt IT KASM exec. If we give that just a quick run, we'll see that it runs without any errors, and we're good to go. If it came back with some CPAN module errors, that's what we would see in our initial troubleshooting. But everything looks good here since it ran clean. So let's go back to our web browser and take a look and cross our fingers, and we get the welcome page. There you have it. So IT KASM installed successfully. We're good to go. And I'm not going to cover the welcome page and where to go from here. I'll leave that up to the Administration Part 1 introduction video. I recommend you take a look at that. And that concludes the installation of a base source install. Thank you.